Hey, real estate rock stars, welcome to the whole enchilada of real estate investing, the only podcast that serves up the full feast of street smart strategies to build wealth and take control of your financial future. I'm Lou Brown, and I've been in the real estate game since 1976, so I've learned how to make the whole plate worth it. Each week, I'll be dishing out creative financing hacks and proven systems that help investors build multi-million-dollar businesses. No fluff, just the good stuff, straight from the source. Ready to dig in and start making deals? Let's get to it. All right, good morning, everyone, and we have an amazing day planned for you. Some great information from a real estate professional. We have none other than Nikki Aiello on here with us today, and she is going to share some amazing things about who she is and what she does, and some takeaways for you to be able to advance your businesses. Many of you on here are licensed real estate professionals. Others are real estate investors. Others are mortgage brokers. So many of you from many different backgrounds are able to pick up some great information today from Nikki. So how are you today?
I'm doing well. It's a little bit of a gloomy day over here in Milwaukee. So, bringing the sunshine.
Yes, let's bring some sunshine today for sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like I said, my name is Nikki. I am a mother of two. I am a licensed real estate professional out of Wisconsin. I have an IT background with both my undergrad and my master's degree. Alma maters are right here in Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin Stout and Milwaukee. And I've got a bit of a project management background, a little bit of a property management background. My husband and I manage a couple of rental properties here in Milwaukee, and that kind of sparked the real estate interest for me. And I'll be honest, it's a little bit more personable, a little bit more entertaining than sitting behind a desk and typing on the keyboard all day. But I do find those two worlds overlap a lot. The technologies that we use nowadays as real estate professionals definitely help perpetuate where we need to go.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. And I really love that you brought in the fact that this is a people business. I'm a big believer in that because when you get into people's lives, you're able to discover and uncover what's going on in their world and discover how you can help, discover how you can change their life, discover how you can improve their life with the help of what you do, which definitely real estate is one of the big ways that we change people's lives, not only for now, but for years and decades to come. And sometimes it's a lifetime investment that we're helping them do. So that is very noble work. And I congratulate you for making the shift from behind a computer to out in the field and getting with folks. So that inspires you. And, one of the great things about being a real estate professional, whether you're an investor or an agent or both, is the fact that it's never 2 days the same, right?
Couldn't agree more.
So if 2 days are never the same, then you can get the picture of who we enjoy being as well. We help deserving families end up with home ownership, regardless of credit or financial background. And we love working with real estate agents because they bring us people that they can't help, people that they cannot put into a home right away, people that they know that just need some nurturing to build up their credit, build up their down payment. And so that's what we do. And we work with real estate professionals like you to be able to take those dead leads out of your phone and create them into income for you. And so that's definitely something that we enjoy doing. Now, you had talked to me about this life work balance. And I think one of the takeaways for folks today may be to have a better understanding of how you're able to do that. What are the ages of your children?
I have a 9-year-old. He'll be 10 in 2 weeks. And I have a 6-year-old.
Oh boy. Okay. So the life is lively around your house.
Oh, nothing is ever quiet. Nothing is ever still. My husband and I both work from home too. So there really just isn't a dull moment. And I know that's like a cliche, but man, does it apply to my life.
It really does. It really does. And, with COVID, people discovered that they could work from home and they really could add a lot of hours back to their life without the commute, without the isolation of the office and the box that they have to live in. Now they've got a more varied life. However, they also have more varied hours. So, how do you manage that?
Both of them, like real estate is pretty flexible in regard to picking up and setting down. So filling those in between time with home life, family life, doing the laundry and going to the grocery store, like regular life stuff. It all kind of maximizing your use of time and managing your time diligently is absolutely the key to finding that balance, in my opinion. I don't really have set working hours. So I kind of work my life around my client schedules, my home needs, and just shuffling that calendar. I live by my calendar. I could not survive without a virtual or digital calendar. It's how my husband and I communicate, how I juggle with my clients and my colleagues in the office. But yeah, time management and scheduling and filling those in between hours with that, like the jobs that you can pick up and set down.
Wow. That is so important and definitely a great takeaway for folks is, hey, get a calendar. What system do you use?
I'll be honest, I just use Google Calendar.
Yay!
Just super, I mean, it's simple but effective. It carries over across all of my devices, and I'm able to create calendar. Like I've got my personal calendar, I've got my work calendar. I'm a den mother for my son's Boy Scouts troop, so I've got a calendar for that one, and I can toggle those calendars on and off and watch where they overlap. I'm able to see my husband's calendar. I'm able to see other family and friends' calendars. So it's simple but effective. And as long as you're diligent about writing things down, making lists, like, and just adhering to the goals that you set forward for that day, that I find it to be very, very effective.
That's a good takeaway for sure. And a lot of people have trouble with that discipline, right? And one of the things I teach in my classes is, hey, you've got to make the commitment first. And we've got a thing called aha, I need to do that. Then action, what action plan am I going to do as a result of that aha? And third is the calendar. Where and when are you going to do that? And putting that on the calendar. So that can really help a lot of people. As simple as it sounds, it's really not. It's something that's so critical to the success of a business where the time is really allocated and the time is committed to make sure that those things happen. So thank you for that aha, I think, for some of the people listening today. Now, tell us a little bit more about your business.
Um, like I said, I started a little just under 2 years ago. I really kind of, I mean, you go in with your like friends and family that but I didn't have any hot leads per se going into this. I really just kind of did the grunt work and kind of became a yes man, holding the open houses whenever anybody asks and saying yes to anybody who wants to talk real estate or run around and go look at a house or something. And I've just been really working those leads, and I've been trying to get into the office as much as possible. I feel like despite being a remote worker, being present in the office and having those real estate conversations as a new agent, that is, having those real estate conversations on a consistent basis just keeps your head in the game, showing up. And then I've just really been, the people part of it has been really nice, like the networking, the marketing side of it. I mean, like you send out the flyers and the postcards and whatnot, but I like the in-person showing up to an event, setting up a tent, going to my kids' Cub Scout stuff or going to school events and sponsoring them and being a part of the community while still maintaining your real estate professional status and like but not leading with that, leading with your heart instead of your profession. That I've had some good success with operating in that way.
I love that. And, the key is, and the key takeaway for all of you watching today is really the fact that you get out there and you connect with people. Because the way I look at it and the way I teach is everyone is a market. Every single person that you talk to is a market. And if they don't know and understand who you are and what you do, then you can't discover what actually is available to you. And people do love to work with other people that they know. We, as much marketing as we do, we love the fact that people will call us cold off of a telephone number or an email or some kind of ad. But the thing that we also love is when someone that knows us recommends us and tells other people about us. And that connectivity is just something that is a human basic desire, really. And I think people kind of throw that to the side. So connecting with the public is so very important. And like you said, setting up tents, doing open houses. We have in our path to home ownership, that's one of the things we do as well. When we have a vacant property, we want to connect with the community. We want to connect with the neighborhood, tell them who we are, what we do, how we operate, how we can help, how we're different than everybody else. And that happens from that actual connectivity with the community. So thank you for that aha. And I take for people to be able to use, but it comes naturally for some people and it does not come naturally for other people. So it's really a personality thing too. And, when you identify the personality that you are, then that identity comes out in what you do out there to get connected with people. So this is a great business for those that are outwardly thinking, outwardly speaking, and willing to get out there and meet with others other than being stuck behind a computer.
Exactly, exactly.
That's good stuff. Well, so you've been in the game for 2 years and you've been selling real estate. Now, do you focus on the listing side or the selling side?
I'll be entirely honest. I'm still saying, like I was saying before, I'm still saying yes to kind of everything. I'm still growing my business. I'm still nurturing it. I'm still building those hopefully lifelong leads that will turn into referral to the cousin, referral to my uncle, my brother, my niece. I'm really focusing on setting up those connections and those relationships right now. Uh, so yeah, that's where I'm investing a lot of my time is my top leads right now. I'm nurturing those relationships and doing lunch instead of leads or buying lunch instead of leads is what I meant to say. Yeah, just really trying to develop those types of connections. I mean, your topic about creating the relationship base, the people business is stuck in my head right now. So I keep just thinking about that right now. Very much so enjoy working with the people that I've got in on the top of my list right now, my clients. They've been wonderful. I genuinely appreciate them.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned about the connectivity with others and, talking about who you are and what you do out there in the world. One of the things that we as real estate investors do is work with agents like you. And so when we know about you, we can connect with you, right? Because there's so many agents out there and some are actually open. Usually it's the new ones. It's the new ones that, like you said, are willing to say yes. They're willing to do whatever's necessary to cause their business to occur. They see the other multi-million dollar producers and they see how they act and they're kind of reflective about that. Is that who I am? Is that what I do? Does that resonate with me? Are there other ways that I can do this business that can resonate with me? And one of the things that a lot of agents are attracted to in our world is the fact that they can get rid of less than perfect leads, right? Because they, like you said, they come in a myriad of ways. and you're willing to work them. However, if you're kind of dyed in the wool, you get burned out on folks that can't perform. And unfortunately, because of their background history, whatever may have happened in their world, they're just not teed up right now. And so when agents discover who we are, then they're able to bring those leads to us and we're able to do something with them and they're able to earn up to a full commission. So that's one of the ways that you, as a newcomer to the business, as a real estate agent, then you can definitely align with those folks that have less than perfect credit. And you can say, hey, guess what? I have a solution for you that you probably are not aware of. And bringing them through our referral portal, then you're able to earn a commission. And the other way you're able to do that is to refer other people in your office. So other people that do have in their phone people that have less than perfect credit and they haven't been able to help them. Would you like to monetize those? And that's another thing that you can bring to the table because, as you know, they don't pay a lot of attention to newbies in the office. You know, they kind of have their clutches of who they're talking to and who they're not talking to, as the case may be. So it really can open the door for you to bring something to the table that maybe they didn't have before. And I'm speaking not only to you, but to all real estate agents that are tuning in because, you know, being a couple of years in the business is great and definitely gives you a foundation to work with. However, it's also that thing of the willingness to be able to do anything and everything just to get something going, right? And to keep something going as well. So that's good stuff. That's good. That's a good advice for folks as they are working. Now, you keep up with local market trends, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you do that?
I'll be honest, my broker supports us as agents by providing us many resources in which to capture that information. We've got our local MLS databases that definitely provide us the statistics in various formats that are easily digestible. I mean, you can just get the data sheet, and if you're an analytics person and you just want that spreadsheet and you want to smush the numbers around and see what you need to see, that way definitely can get the raw data. I'm a visual person and I find a lot of my clients are visual. So I like to take that data and either represent it in like an infographic or some sort of graphic to include in my buyer and listing consultations. That market data comes from a lot of different sources, tax information that we, like I said, it really kind of, you get the raw data and you develop it into something that's easily readable, easily legible, easily to reproduce. Get that from tax records, and Shore West, like I said, just really provides those resources for us and makes it excellent to grab their resources and run with them. And
That's great. That's available to real estate agents. It's not as readily available to real estate investors. What would your advice be to connect the two? So, in other words, do you work with real estate investors?
I have in the past worked with real estate investors, certainly. I mean, it's a people business. I'm happy to cultivate any sort of relationship that the job demands for me to do. If somebody came to me with some sort of idea in mind, I can certainly be a facilitator to give the best information that I possibly can, advise in the best way that I find professionally to do so. Yeah, I've definitely worked with investors in the past and don't shy away from a project. So
That's a great thing. Well, definitely, you know, one of the things from our world is once we find a client that has less than perfect credit, we need to buy a house for them. So the alignment with real estate agents is very, very great because they can bring us opportunities. Maybe they're just about to bring something to market that the seller is saying, hey, I need to get rid of this and I need to get rid of this now. That can be a real opportunity for both sides because what we do is buy it within 7 days depending upon, of course, the title search, but we can really close fast. And that's music to a lot of real estate agents' ears, because here, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, is this client going to get qualified for a loan and all the molasses that goes with that, and difficulty that goes with that sometimes. So it definitely makes a lot of sense to align with real estate investors. And I'm not talking about Wall Street because that's not typically who we're working with. We're typically buying from individuals and who, not want to sell but need to sell. And they sometimes have the property in less than perfect condition, sometimes very less than perfect condition, or just needs updated, like it's been 30 years before that, since that house has been touched. And so we specialize in that, taking the house as is rather than having to have the seller go in and do all the repairs, which is something that a lot of people, if they're inheriting a property and they're not planning to come in and spend family money on fixing up the property and getting it ready for market, they're just wanting to get rid of it. So there's a lot of alliance there that can happen between real estate agents and investors. So, and that might be a takeaway for some of you real estate agents that are tapping in today to realize that that's a whole option and an opportunity for you. And one of the good things about investors is they can be creative. It's not just a cash deal or nothing else. So to get the numbers more in line, sometimes if the seller needs a certain amount of money, we can give them that money and then do a payment plan on the rest of the money. And that aligns with both parties' needs. So that's just an idea. That's one of the ways that an investor can buy, and opens the door for you to add on and augment the business that you currently have. So that's a great one. I know for our certified affordable housing providers, we've got a lot of leads in the Milwaukee area, particularly. And the term affordable housing means what the person can afford, not what the price of the house is. However, there's a lot of low priced houses in Milwaukee, so that opens the door there as well.
Certainly.
It's good stuff. So tell us, as now a newcomer to the business, and I'm going to call it newcomer after 2 years, and what was a surprise to you? What was surprising about what you're doing and how you're doing it that you didn't know it was going to be that way?
Oh, well, I've always been a W-2 employee. So becoming a 1099 independent contractor was just that mentality shift. That was a big, like, personal, like, hurdle to get over and just accept and work with and modify how you operate. Uh, what else was a surprise? I'll be honest, and I don't mean this like snarkily, but I felt pretty equipped to go into real estate. I felt I did a decent amount of research before I made the leap. Maybe the initial investment, like how much money you should have, like sitting in the little nest egg before you make that switch from W-2 to 1099. I feel like that is always slightly more, just not having that paycheck month to month or biweekly is a little bit more shocking than you might assume. But I'll be honest, I really felt well trained coming into this. Well, I understood that there was groundwork needing to be done, that there was a lot of door knocking, a lot of hoofing needing to be done, getting your face out in front of people, but without being like the annoying solicitor. Like, did we talk about real estate yet? Because I'm in real estate. Like, trying not to come across that way, but still being like excited and passionate about switching directions and about a new venture. And it's been very fun to bite my teeth into the creativity that you can apply to building your own business. I mean, there's definitely like the strategies and the fundamentals and business planning and the T's and the I's that need to get dotted. But I feel like there's like I said, so much creativity that you can apply. You can inject your personality to so many levels. And the people business side of it is where you find those personalities that align with yours. And then when you guys set up the same goals and then helping move through a transaction to achieve those goals, the day of closing, just handing over those keys just feels, just seeing your client's face just light up, whether it is that investor who's trying to expand their portfolio, or it's a first time home buyer, or a single mom going through something. Like those phases in life that you get to see people in, a lot of times it's very difficult phases or very happy phases. There's you usually run across those people in the peaks and the valleys of their lives. So to be their companion next to them and helping them achieve those goals, I felt very equipped walking into real estate with that in mind. And then filling in the training pieces is what I felt I lacked at initially, but choosing the direction and the path that I did with my broker, I feel like I am and was well equipped walking in.
That's great. That's great. I love that. And definitely, you got some good key points in there. For example, how much money would you say that someone should have, set aside as they're coming into the business and knowing that there are expenses, right? You have to connect with the MLS. You have different expenses with your licensing and so on and so on. So, how much money do you think people should really have as a nest egg?
I think if you want a quick one sentence answer, I would say 6 to 9 months of savings. But I know that's not always like achievable for the average person, especially somebody starting off or somebody trying to make a career shift. It's not always super easy to just set that money aside. I would say if that were your case, if you were a person listening and hearing that and being, that's like a daunting amount of money to try to set aside or to save up, or like, I can't do this. And it's going to take me 10 years to save up that much or however long. I would say get strategic about what brokerage you work with. Figure out what your broker is willing to provide you as resources. If they're willing to cover marketing costs, if they have a team behind them, like a support center to offer printing materials so that you don't have to pay for postage, things of that nature. I would say be very strategic about which broker you launch with. It's very attractive to say, I'm going to go with the one that has the highest payout commission side, with the lowest agent fee monthly. That's very easy on paper. It's not scary to see that number when you first sign up, but if you're willing to think a couple months down the line, working for a broker that really does have your back and really does help the newcomers build a business by offering those resources that you might not otherwise think about. Postage can get very expensive when you're sending out so many mailers, and when you're an upcoming agent and you don't get a closing for a month or two, or maybe in a slow market, and you're just, any help is helpful. So I would say set aside that savings, any amount that you can, but in addition to that, once you get your license, really be diligent about what broker you work with. It's
That's
very easy to go with the cheapest one, but that doesn't mean cheapest isn't always better.
That's great advice. Definitely a takeaway there for everybody, I think. And if you're just getting started and you don't have a lot of resources, it makes a lot of sense to already have a buyer or already have a seller when you take that leap, right? If you've got some momentum going before you actually leave the job or are expecting income, putting that calendar out there again, where on the calendar is your payday?
Yeah.
How are you going to get paid and when are you going to get paid? That's another aspect of it. We as real estate investors, our number is down at the bottom of the closing statement, not up here where the commission is. And often I think agents, by the time it's split with the broker and by the time they cover their expenses, they go, wow, I didn't make as much as I thought I was going to make. And I didn't know that this was going to be so require so much volume to actually make a really good income. And so you do have to do that math, guys. It's so important so that you're able to actually project forward And one of the things that we as real estate investors do is we create equity and then we earn money off of that equity. So our customers coming to the table typically have down payment money, option fees, or down payments that we as an investor can realize right away. Sometimes it exceeds the commission by a lot. And then on top of that, we're getting the monthly income. So in the realm of being able to build a pancake of income on a monthly basis, that's another aspect of what we do that's different than what real estate agents do. And one of the transitions that we've seen a lot of people do is, as real estate agents, they then evolve into the concept of becoming an investor and learning more about what we do and how we do it. So it's interesting transition in life to actually be able to, bless you, no worries, to be attracted to another area on the closing statement. Sometimes it's a far more profitable thing, especially when your boots on the ground and you're able to see those very people that you're talking about, the whole variety of life of people having different challenges happening to them on an ongoing basis. And you're going, wow, well, with this particular customer, I could go ahead and buy the property myself and be able to take them out of their misery right away. And oh, by the way, I've got a customer for that, and I can put them into the property and be the bank for them over a long term. So that's what we specialize in, that works very well with real estate agents as well.
Very cool.
So, what would be your parting thoughts that you would like to share with folks that are on here today, and tell us more about you and how we can reach you?
Parting thoughts. I would say, as a real estate professional, figure out who you are, who you want to cater to, how you want to operate as a person in your business. Yes, you are your business, but you are still a person and you are within that business. Figure out your identity. That identity will flow through your business. It will flow through the connections you make. It will harden up those connections, and you will have those lifelong clients. You will have the joys and the sorrows alongside with them, and you will be a pivotal person in their lives. If you're curious about connecting with me, you can find me in Milwaukee. I specialize in Milwaukee County and Waukesha County. I dabble in Ozaukee County. I've been in Wisconsin my entire life. Moved to Milwaukee in 2009, so I've been here for a while. I very much so enjoy the area. Southeast Wisconsin is gorgeous. So much water to play in. Definitely get yourself out there if you're able to. But if you're looking for me, you can find me at nikki.shorewest.com. You can find my contact info out there. You can also reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram.
That's Nikki, correct?
nikki.shorewest.com.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for being with us today. It has been very interesting, and I think a lot of folks got takeaways from you. So you're a great inspiration for others, and definitely look forward to hearing from you in the future and the amazing things that you're doing there in beautiful Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've been a speaker there before. I've been to the RIA there, and yeah, some great, great folks have come out of Milwaukee for us.
All right. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate it.
Take care. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in to the whole enchilada of real estate investing. I hope you're feeling ready to take your investing game to the next level. If you're serious about building wealth, you won't want to miss the Millionaire Jumpstart. It's a 3-day live event that's perfect for any level of investor. Whether you're just getting started or you're looking to scale, this can be one of the final steps of making real wealth happen. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now at millionairejumpstart.com and get ready to make big moves in your real estate journey. I'm Lou Brown. Until next time, keep hustling, and remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how smart you play the game.